Hi guys, Robot1 here, coming up to you with my YCS London deck list and report. Now, obviously this weekend we had YCS London. It was a great event, to be honest with you guys. We got to go to Comic-Con. I personally didn't get to go because, well, I did go, but I didn't really get to do much because there was things that were happening. I was in the tournament a lot, and I didn't have much time between rounds, but nonetheless, I did still get to do things in the con. I got some free coke, I got some free fun. I also got some signatures from the main Yu-Gi-Oh protagonists, Yugi and Kaiba. I got Kaiba's assigned Zaweld Blue Eyes, and this old one. Wish I could have an original one though. Yeah, I also did a vlog on the weekend, guys, so that should be coming out in parts. I tried doing it all in one video, to be honest with you guys, but yeah, that wasn't working, sadly. The rendering was taking like over 3 days on my laptop, and it was like, no, I can't be waiting for a video to render for that long, so yeah, I'm just gonna be doing it like that. But anyway, YCS London in itself, it was a very great event. We got to meet Yugi, we got to go to Comic-Con, we got special attribute dice that I will pull out for you now. We got these really cool attribute dice for pre-regging. Well, we only got one. I pulled this one from my pool, but which doesn't look as great as the others, but I got the water one in the end, which was the one I really wanted, because the water one looks really nice. But yeah, YCS London, I pre-regged, I got free dice, I got free mats. I sold the mat because I was like, oh, I have the firewall mat, I don't really need this mat, and I felt like I'd rather just go to it for all free for £20, because sold the mat for 20, because I would have just preferred to had a free weekend, you know. It was really good. But basically, on this week, YCS London was really great. There was a lot of cool things. The judges were really nice. Like, I had a little rolling disputes with a judge. I did get a warning, sadly, on at the end of day one. But we'll get into those on the tournament report. But let's just get into the deck profile so I can show you guys what I played, and I'll give you reasons for why I played things. So we'll start with the main deck, obviously. We played. Also, guys, before we get into this, the reason I decided to play this over Spirals was because, like, I felt like the Spiral deck was going to be the deck that was the people were going to be maining cards to beat. Stuff like Drone Lock, Ash Reapers, just all of this random stuff, just so people could get around it and beat them. So I was like, oh, I don't really want to deal with that, and I would much rather prefer to, you know, I would much rather prefer to play something that's still really good, such as the Magicians, and just be able to play the game and have lots of fun. Because, like, I had a lot of fun with this deck on the weekend. I did really well, in my opinion. I made day 2. I came 151st in the end of pairings. So, like, I didn't do too bad. I went like it was 11 rounds, so I went 6, 3, 2 by the end of day 2. But at the end of day 1, I was 5, 3, 5, 1, 2. So I had 2 draws, 1 win, 2 draws, 1 loss, 5 wins. So I felt that was really good. But going into day 2, I just felt like I could have topped. It's just like I didn't really get the matchups that I needed, and I didn't really get where I needed to be. But yeah, this is the deck that I had. This is the deck that I played. But yeah, I played it for the reasons that I felt like Spirals was going to be just really heavy-sided against, and I felt like this would be the better option for those reasons. Also, I had a lot of fun with it. That's another reason. So yeah, but yeah, so we start with Free Skull Combat Joker. He's just Stratos of the deck. There's not really much to explain about him. He's just here for, oh, you can search him. He's a searchable target of like Wavering Eyes and Form Power Pendulum Stalk, and he searches your entire deck. So there's not really much else to say about that. He's Stratos. Free Harmonizing Magician, one of the best cards in the deck. Just being able to give you a free rank 1 play, a free and just like a free rank 1 play out of nowhere, and it's really good because it can give you a synchro play of Omega and any rank 4 turn 1. It can give you just a rank 4 play such as Babushka, Tornado Dragon, and like Dweller. Like, it can give you all sorts of different plays, so harmonizing really does do really well in this deck. So free harmonizing really is a key card in this deck because it just does so well in the deck that it will help you more in the long run than it will just not being in your deck. So free harmonizing magician. Next we play free Wisdom Eye Magician. You obviously play 3 of this. There's not much need to explain about this. It's your free scale. Basically this is either a high or a low scale, whatever you want it to be, and that's basically the point of it. You activate it, you get a high or a low scale. It's like, this did actually hurt me a bit on the weekend though, because there were times like when this was in the extra deck, like I could summon a monster, but I needed a dark monster and I didn't have it in my extra deck, and I summoned it to the extra monster zone, and like I would rather it have been a dark monster there. So Wisdom Eye was like a little iffy on the weekend. I would rather if it was a dark monster, but you have to play it at free, purely because it just gives you a free scale, which is what you really need in the deck. So free Wisdom Eye because it is really the best one. We also played free double Iris Magician. This was I usually sided out 1 Iris Magician because I was siding in like 8 cards every game against Spirals, and like this was like one of the best cards to play, but it was like, oh, I'm going second, I want to side this out. It's still really good, like being able to search your Time Pendulum Graph or your Star Pendulum Graph. That really does help a lot. But this was like just really good all day. But when I sided it out, it didn't really matter because I usually sided out a Time Pendulum Graph along with it. So 3 of this. It did really well on the weekend as well. Like just being able to destroy it and then search Time Pendulum Graph, it's really key to the deck. Next we play free purple Poison Magician. You have to play 3 of this card. It's just insane if you're just insane if you're not. It gives you so much plays. Just being able to get an extra 1200 damage in, which actually wins games, and just being able to destroy a face-up card along with it. It really does help, especially when you're up against something like Spiral, you need to get rid of the field spell to just be able to target anything. You can be like, oh, get rid of the field spell, activate this, or use this effect, get rid of the field spell, and then use its effect again, then use another effect to get rid of anything on the field, such as Spiral cards. Like it really was useful on the weekend. Next we play 2 Black Fang. Black Fang did really well on the weekend. I felt like 2 was the right ratio in the end. Definitely 2. Black Fang was really good. It's like if you strike this or warning this, I'm just going to summon it back. So that's really the main point you play it, and it's 2 fine. Plus, being able to half any attack didn't really come up much though, because of Spirals usually had their field spell, so this wasn't really ever used. That effect. 2 Pendulum Sorcerers. 2 Pendulum Sorcerers was fine for me. Every time I went second though, I sided out 1. It was just the easy side out card. Like literally, you're playing 2. It's searchable through 4 means, I believe, and it's just like so easy to get to that. You can side out 1 without having any problems. Plus, it's in a low scale. I believe I'm playing 6 low scales in the deck. Yeah, 6. And the last low scale is Oath Dragon Magician. 1 Oath Dragon Magician, like, I felt like 1 was fine. I never needed more than 1, but there was obviously at times when I did want another one. But I felt like 1 was enough in the deck. Like, every time I used this, I never really cared later on if I needed it again. But 1 was always enough for 1 Oath Dragon Magician, and I felt like it was the right call to play 1. Like, I know some people play 2, but I just felt like 1 of this card is enough. So yeah, that's the all the Pendulum monsters that had, and we also played 6 hand traps. We played triple Draw and Lockbird. Draw and Lockbird's an obvious one. You want to be playing this to get around, just to be able to, like, oh, your opponent activates searches a card, activate, stops. This didn't really help though. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because of every time I saw it in the games that I lost. I like couldn't do anything. Like literally, I bricked with this, and it was like, oh, I lose. Good job, great. But it was still really good all out throughout the day, and it did help a lot. It did help in times. Like I think most of my draws were because I drew this. So yeah, free draw. We also played 2 Ash Blossoms. Before the event, I was contemplating on maining evenly matches over these, but throughout testing, I found that evenly matched wasn't really worth much in the main deck. So I decided to scrap it in the main deck, put it in the side, and just main the 2 Ash Blossoms instead, because of Ash Blossom really just does a lot more, being able to negate machine duplication, being able to negate lots of other things, such as the field spell, such as the quick fixes, such as the master plan, such as the double helix, such as Pendulum Call for magicians, such as the grass looks greener, which I actually did duel against. Like, this came in clutch every time, so like this is really good. But I only really saw it like twice throughout the entire event though, but whenever I saw it, it really did help. And we played 1 Max C, which I only saw once during the entire weekend. Sadly, when I activated it, I won. But yeah, 1 Max C. That's all the monsters. Like the monster count, I feel like the monsters is the correct ratio. Like even with the new ban list, I feel like this is still the right build to play. Just because of, like, Droll still does really well against magicians, Ash does really well against magicians, and Maxi is just just enough. So I feel like this is still going to be the standard hand trap ratio if you're wanting to play a magician variant. But like if you don't want to run the Drolls, like I would suggest putting in like an Astrograph, 2 Astrograph sorcerers, and maybe any other Pendulum monster, like just to balance it out, because like I'm not playing Astrographs because I just felt like they weren't really needed. Plus, just with all of these, with all of these hand traps, I really was fine as is. But yeah, that's all the monsters. Let's move on to the spells. So we run 3 Duelist Alliance, pretty standard, just searches like Pendulum Call, Pendulum Star Pendulum Graphs, Time Pendulum Graph, Iris Magician, and Form of Pendulum Sorcerer. Just a very standard card. It's just very standard in the deck. You don't really need to explain it. 2 Star Pendulum Graph. I chose to run 2 because I felt like I tested it at 1, but I didn't see it enough, or I banished it, so it wasn't really. I didn't really care if I sort of drew it, but like I wanted to see it more as well. So I put it at 2 over 1. 2 Pendulum Call. I see people running 1. I feel like that is the incorrect method, because like if they actually one of them, then you still can have the second one later on to be able to search 2 magicians to get your scales. So that's the reason 2 is in here, because I feel like it's better to have 2 than 1. Plus, I can search it out late game and early game if I need to, if I have Duelist Alliance. So like this is just too good not to play it 2. 2 Wavering Eyes, sided out every game. Like literally every game I sided this out. Like I didn't do a single pendulum all weekend, so it just came out every round. Like yeah, Wavering Eyes came out a lot. 2 Desires, I never saw it during the weekend. It's meant to be here so I can get a plus, but I just didn't draw it at all in the entire weekend. Like seriously, I didn't even see this in my opening 5. It's ridiculous. 2 Cosmic Cyclones, just because we want to have some sort of back row removal, some sort of way to remove the last resort, some way to remove the field spell, some way to remove back row, just some way so we can get around things. Plus, I felt like I might duel some True Dracos, and I did duel True Draco on day 2 and 1. So I felt like 2 in the main was fine. It just helps us get around problem back row that we don't want to deal with. And 1 Raigeki because it's Raigeki. Yeah. It's just Raigeki. Board wipes are good. If you're not maining Raigeki, you're probably not doing that well. And we only played 2 traps, which were 2 Time Pendulum Graph. Yeah, we just like 2 is the right account. Like I started out 1 going second every time. I always felt like keeping this in siding out 1 was fine. I never had a time when I really cared if I sided it out. But yeah, 2 Time Pendulum Graph, you always want at least 1 in the main, but 2 is the right ratio if you're going first. But yeah, that's just the main deck. I feel like the main deck is completely correct. Like, I feel like the ratio is right, I feel like the amount of hand traps is right. Like, I saw a Droll fairly often, I saw hand traps fairly often. I saw like everything at least once except for the Desires. Like, I never saw Desires. it's ridiculous. Like everything in here is really well balanced in my opinion, and I feel like even going into the new list that we just got on Monday, like I feel like this is just the right ratio even in the next format that we're going into. So that's pretty good. I felt like that was the right ratios for the event, and it did really well for me, seeing as it came 151st. And this was out of 1,300 people, guys. But yeah, let's go on to the extra deck. So we obviously have the representing of the Brotherhood token. Yeah, this was just there to represent. I wore the shirt as well. But we did play one Axe-Ship Magician. This is basically just to punish bad players who put their sleeper in front of the extra monster zone. Like, this is just basically there to punish them because they're doing bad. Like, that's just what this is mainly there for. Plus, it has synergy with the deck, being a dark spellcaster as well, which really did come in handy sometimes. Just being able to give it an extra 1200 attack, or just being able to revive it from the graveyard with Black Fang. Like, it does come in handy. One Decode Talker. It's just a link free. I made it a few times. I would say I think like 1 or 2 times. Did come in handy. Just being able to negate targets is really good. One Barrel Load. This was actually a really good card. The whole weekend. Like every time I summoned it, I won. I had no problems with it whatsoever. Like, it was just an amazing card in general. If you're not playing this, you're not playing the game right. We also played one Dweller. I think I summoned it once and it got killed. Babushka summoned it like, I don't know, like 20 times the whole weekend. Like, this card is just insane. Just being able to make everything go to defense mode and they can't use their effects. It's just madness. Even against Spirals, against Invoked, against Trickstars, like, this is just maddening, and I really did think this was a very good card. Like, seriously, this was a very good card all weekend, guys. If you're not maining this, you're not playing the game. One Tornado Dragon, I think I made it once. It's not really that good anymore. Maybe in the new format, with Spirals being so damaged, this will see some play again, but I feel like Babushka is always the one you're going to be wanting to go into over this, so yeah, Babushka is better. One Star Time Pendulum Graph. I'm not playing 2 anymore because of Babushka. Plus, I never really need to go into the second because I'm not playing Astrograph in this build. So I felt like 1 was fine, and I'm never really making it anyway. I think I made it like once the whole weekend. So yeah. One Performance Trapeze Magician, just for OTKs. Like, literally, this card enables so many OTKs in the deck, so you want to be playing it at least. One Supreme Dark Rebellion. This card is like insane, guys. Like, if you're not playing this in your Magician deck, you shouldn't be playing the game, because this card is just like, oh, I'm going insane. You've got a big monster, you've now got a small monster, and I'm taking all of its attack, and you're taking almost maybe 5k. Like, this card just comes in so handy. Like, literally, this won me so many games over the weekend, and it is a really good card. Just being able to dominate your opponent. Like, it's just an insane card. One Enlightenment Paladin. I think I summoned it once. Won the game that I summoned it. It's okay. It's okay. The FTK, it helps with some FTKs. One Supreme Dragon Clearwing. Just Raigeki on legs. I summoned it once, and the time I summoned it, I won the game, but it was irrelevant anyway. So yeah, like, not really that great. One Omega. I summoned this twice the whole weekend. Like, I never really did the Omega rank 4 combo because I never really opened it very often. But the 2 times I did open it, I did make it. So it does help. It does help. One Ignista. I made this a few times as well. The times I made it, I won. It's a very good card. I think I made it like twice the whole weekend, and it won me those games that I did make it. So Ignista is just a great card still. Don't know why you aren't playing it if you are. One Bills, the Diabolical Dragon. I made this once against True Dracos, and that was it. I'm probably going to cut it from the deck because it's just like completely useless to me. I usually sided it out for Reaper target, double Helix, and it just really doesn't do much. And the last one is Supreme King Starving Venom. This is just here so you can give all your monsters piercing damage, or if you get floodgated. It did win me a game, so it isn't useless, but it did win me a game. So yeah, that's the extra deck. Like I feel like the extra deck was right, other than Barrel Load, pretty much. I feel like everything in here was correct. No, not barrel load, sorry. I feel like Bills was like the worst one the whole weekend, but yeah, I feel like the extra deck was correct in means of what I was playing. But yeah, that's the extra deck. Let's go on to the side deck. I played Free Denko. This was just for paleos. Like, I did do one paleo round 1, so this did come in. This was like, I don't think I saw it though, so I didn't really do much, but I did do really well with it. But it was there just for the all paleo matchups, all trap matchups, like stuff like that. So Free Denko, 2 Reapers, playing 2 cherries because of, obviously we got this guy double helix. Played this in the side along with the cherries. It came in handy. It did come in handy. Like, I don't think I ever used it though, because I never drew the cherries. Like, maybe I should have played it at 3, but I only had the 2, so I couldn't really do anything. Plus the side deck was really tight, so I didn't really have room. But yeah, I just played the cherries for the 1 helix target, and if I go up against, and when I went up against grass, a light spawn deck, I sided in cherries to get rid of Omegas, but I didn't see the cherries. Next we played 1 Gamasil, 1 Kumungus, 1 Dogoran, and 1 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. The Kaiju package, I felt like I was originally playing 2 Gamasil on the side, but I felt like, I'm siding Dark Hole and some other cards, but I thought like this was going to do me a lot better in the long run, seeing as this is going to be able to clear my opponent's board. It's going to give me a big monster, plus I'm going to be able to search another big monster to get rid of a problem. And every time I kept it in, it actually helped me win games. Like, against an invoked matchup, this, like, I opened 2 Kaijus, and then I top decked Gamasil late game, and I was like, I win the game, okay? Like, the Kaiju engine really did help, and it really is worth it. I kept this in going first as well against Spirals, which I know is a bit weird, but it's because of I felt like if I didn't do very well turn 1 and we go into a turn 3, then this would come in handy really well, and it did come in handy sometimes. Last spell, we played 1 Wavering Eyes, just in case we did run into a Rogue Pendulum matchup. It was just there for that reason. We also played 2 Evenly Matched. Every time I activate this card, I won. Simple as. Like, Evenly Matched is just insane. Being able to banish a maximum of like 11 cards. No, not even 11 cards, 10 cards. It really is insane, and it really does come in handy. Every time I used it, I won. And it was just really insane in the end. And we also played 2 Solemn Strikes because of it's the Solemn engine, and it's good going first against Spiral. So yeah, that was the deck. I felt like the deck performed really well. As I said, I came 151st. Like, making day 2 is good enough in my opinion, but just for what the deck does and how the deck played, I felt like this was really good in the end. Just being able to do so much and being able to, and just stop my opponent so easy, it just did really well. But for the tournament report, I've got it all written down here with life points and everything. My round 1 was Paleo. I won that 2-0. I just killed my opponent really fast and just stopped him from doing anything with like my time pendulum graph. Round 2 was Invoked. Game 1, I just swamped him. Game 2, I evenly matched him and killed him. Round 3 was a Spiral player. I won Game 1. He lost Game 2. I lost Game 2. But time was called while we were siding, so that was a draw. I felt like I could have won it as well if I was going first still. Next was another Spiral. I won that round. But it seemed like he was a pretty bad Spiral player as well because of he didn't know that you could use Sleeper Effect to target itself while it has Last Resort on it. So that was a kind of sad play for him. Next one was Invoked again. Trickstar Invoked, and I beat him, but he did really well. It was a very fun match, and I really did enjoy it. But then we played another Spiral on table 11 in the whole event. I was dying at this point, and I just bricked Game 1 and Game 2, and I was like, I can't be dealing with this. So I lost in like 20 minutes and couldn't even go to the con because it was closed at the time. Then it was another Spiral at the end of the day, last match. I won Game 1. We went Game 1 into time as well, but we were siding in time, and the judge said, "Oh, I think you're going too slow before time," and it was like, "Oh, but I'm trying to go as fast as I can." So there was also a big ruling discussion there where I got a slow play warning or something, and basically it was the fact that he gave me permission to use my barrel load at the start of the damage step, where he already used his he wanted to use his barrel load after my barrel load effect. So he gave me the priority, and it means he can't actually use barrel load's effect, and that's why I won that one. Then it was day 2. Then game 2, he just killed me. I opened pretty bad, I bricked, and we went in, and it was just a draw at the end of the day. Day 2, round 1, spirals. I won game 1 because he let me go first. I lost game 1 because he out-resourced me. I was able to set up a decent board, but he had like Dark Hole and got rid of Babushka, out-resourced me and just stopped me from playing. Game 2, I let him go first, siding in all my going second cards. I lost because I didn't open any of the going second cards. I sided in like 8 cards, didn't see a single one. I also missed my Light Swan Zombie on day 1. That was round 6. That was really good. I made Omega game 1 and game 2 against him. I also had a Ash for game 1 where he opened Lawn Mowing, and game 2 he had Lawn Mowing again, beat me. Game 3 I just ruined him because he didn't have Lawn Mowing. But yeah, day 2 was Spiral. I lost against, and then next after that I had a True Draco matchup, and every time I won game 1. Game 1 was a hard game, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, because every time he had Cosmic Cyclone set, and I just couldn't deal with it, but I ended up beating him in the end of game 1. We went to game 2. Game 2, he had Cosmic Cyclone every game, so I couldn't really play. So I lost game 2, and then game 3 I was able to out-resource him and just beat him down to the ground. So I won that match, and then the final round, Spiral again. And I was, at this point, I was X2-2, and I ended up losing this round because of game 1, I was able to win because he let me go first. I ruined him, and, well, no, he went first, I was able to out-resource him, and then game 2, he let me go second, and he let me go first, he evenly matched me, and I was just in a terrible position. And then game 3, it was like, oh, I can't really do anything, so I lost. But yeah, overall the weekend was really good, guys. Comic-Con was really good. YCS was really good. The event was great. We saw Yugioh and Kaiba. There's going to be a vlog about that as well, guys, so keep out for that. There was also cool side events like the spinning wheel and all of this other stuff. But yeah, guys, the weekend was really fun. YCS London was a great event. This deck performed really well for me, guys. I don't know if I'll be changing it now that the list has come out, but yeah, guys, that's the list. Tell me your opinions of it in the comment section below. Tell me if you enjoyed this video. Tell me if you are going to play this list in this upcoming format. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Robot1 signing out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. See you guys.